Tesla's worst nightmare just became reality. The EV industry just got hit with a massive shakeup, and it's coming straight from China. BYD's CEO just made a bold, brutal declaration, and if what they're claiming is true, it could destroy the competition overnight. So, the company will be releasing their full-year annual results next week, as well as giving guidance for the year. We're talking about a fast-charging breakthrough, so extreme, it might just make Tesla's superchargers look obsolete. And the most shocking part? It's already happening. Tesla developed this supercharging technology, which is the most advanced charging technology in the world. What exactly did BYD unveil? And why did their CEO take a direct shot at Tesla? Buckle up, because this changes everything. Before delving into the most recent development that will shake up the entire EV industry, and according to some, even destroy it, it's only natural that we talk about what many people are calling the race to faster charging. There's no doubt that electric vehicles have come a long way, but there's one problem no one has completely solved: charging speed. Sure, EVs are getting faster, more efficient, and packed with longer-range batteries, but when it comes to filling up, they still can't match the convenience of gasoline. And that's been the industry's biggest headache. Right now, the fastest public chargers take around 20 to 30 minutes to get you a meaningful charge. That's fine if you're stopping for lunch, but what about road trips? What about gas stations, where a 5-minute stop is all you need? No matter how advanced EVs get, the reality is that most people don't want to wait half an hour at a charger. And if they do, they want more stations, so they're not stuck in line. This is where companies like Tesla, Porsche, and Hyundai have tried to push the limits. Tesla's latest superchargers can hit up to 500 kW, cutting down charging times significantly. Porsche's Taycan uses an 800-volt system that allows for incredibly fast top-ups. Hyundai's eGMP platform is right behind, offering similar speeds. But even at their best, they still require about 15 minutes to get a solid charge. And that's assuming everything goes perfectly. No station downtime, no waiting in line, and ideal battery conditions. But here's the thing. Faster charging isn't just about convenience, it's about winning the EV race. The automaker that figures out ultra-fast charging first, at scale, wins everything: market dominance, customer loyalty, and the ability to kill off range anxiety once and for all. Right now, most EV makers are focused on improving battery chemistry, increasing energy density, and expanding charging networks. But what if someone found a way to skip past all of that and go straight for the ultimate goal? Charging speeds so fast that they erase the last advantage gas cars have. That's what's at stake. And lately, something strange has been happening. Over the past year, a handful of automakers have hinted at a major shift in charging technology. There have been leaks, patents, and behind-the-scenes deals that suggest someone, somewhere, is about to change everything. At first, people assumed Tesla would be the first to do it. They've always been ahead of the game when it comes to charging infrastructure. Their supercharger network is still the best in the world, and they've already announced faster chargers coming in the next few years. But now, another company might be pulling ahead, and if the rumors are true, what they're about to unveil will make every other charging system look outdated, overnight. The race to faster charging has been going on for years, but we might finally have a winner. Electric vehicles are supposed to be the future, clean, efficient, and free from the grip of oil companies. But even with all the progress, one thing still holds them back: charging. Not just how fast it is, but how reliable, accessible, and convenient it can be for everyday drivers. Because let's be honest, owning an EV isn't as simple as just plugging in and going. Not yet. Sure, home charging works for most people. But what about long trips? What about apartment dwellers who don't have a personal garage? Public charging is supposed to be the solution, but in reality it's, well, a mess. Even the biggest charging networks struggle with broken stations, slow speeds, and long wait times during peak hours. And if you don't drive a Tesla, good luck navigating the maze of third-party chargers, each with its own app, pricing, and reliability issues. Tesla, of course, saw this problem early. That's why they built the supercharger network, the only charging system that actually works at scale. Tesla owners can pull up, plug in, and charge without fiddling with apps or waiting for a charger to come back online. Meanwhile, drivers of other EVs are left scrambling between unreliable charging networks, hoping they don't run into an out-of-order station. But even Tesla's superchargers have limits. They've expanded rapidly, but not fast enough to keep up with demand. In major cities, it's not uncommon to find long lines at charging stations, especially during holidays, and even with the latest V4 superchargers pushing 500 kW, it's still not gas station fast. For years, EV advocates have argued that charging speeds don't need to match gasoline, that people just need to adjust their habits, stop for a coffee, take a break, plan your routes. But that argument only works for early adopters, not for the average driver who just wants a car that works as seamlessly as the one they already own. The real challenge isn't just building more chargers, it's making charging so fast and effortless that it eliminates every excuse not to go electric. Automakers know this. That's why they've been scrambling to improve not just charging speeds, but the entire charging experience. Ford and GM are now partnering with Tesla to gain access to its supercharger network. A move that essentially admits defeat, acknowledging that they can't build a better network themselves. Meanwhile, companies like Electrify America and Ionity are expanding their stations across the US and Europe. But they still face the same problems: high costs, low reliability, and a frustrating user experience. In short, charging is the Achilles heel of the EV industry, and the company that fixes it wins everything. Because if an automaker can offer an EV that charges in the same time it takes to fill up a gas tank, without the hassles of today's charging networks, then suddenly, there's no reason for anyone to hold on to their gas car anymore. Range anxiety, gone. Infrastructure concerns, solved. The biggest roadblocks to mass EV adoption would disappear overnight. This is the problem every automaker is racing to solve. The question is, who will get there first? And that, my friends, brings us to China. EVs. That alone speaks volumes about how unprepared traditional car makers were for the shift to electric. But here's where things get interesting. Tesla isn't the only one pushing the limits. In the past few years, a handful of companies, many of them based in China, have been making rapid advancements in battery chemistry, ultra-fast charging, and manufacturing scalability. Companies like CATL, the world's largest battery maker, have been rolling out new cell designs that allow for higher energy density and faster charging speeds. Others, like NIO, have experimented with battery swapping technology, offering a completely different approach to solving the EV charging dilemma. And then there's BYD. Unlike most automakers, BYD doesn't just manufacture cars, it controls the entire supply chain: batteries, chips, motors, charging infrastructure. BYD makes it all. That's something Tesla and other Western automakers still rely on external suppliers for. In fact, BYD's battery technology has become so advanced that Tesla itself has used BYD battery packs in some of its vehicles. The real war isn't just about who can build the best EV, it's about who can create the most complete, self-sufficient ecosystem. And BYD has been slowly, quietly, building something that no other automaker has. What happens when an automaker no longer needs to rely on external suppliers? What happens when they control the manufacturing, the battery technology, and the charging infrastructure? All without depending on partnerships or third parties. That's when things start to get interesting. Tesla's growing concern. For years, Tesla has been the undisputed leader in EV technology. They weren't just another automaker. They were the disruptors, the pioneers who proved electric cars weren't just viable, but honestly, better than their gas-powered counterparts. And for the longest time, no one could catch up. But in 2025, things are starting to look different. Tesla isn't just competing with legacy automakers anymore. They're up against companies that were built for the EV revolution from the ground up. And yeah, Elon Musk knows it. Musk has never been shy about calling out competition. When Lucid and Rivian struggled with production delays, he mocked their inability to scale. When Ford and GM finally started taking EVs seriously, he welcomed them to the race, but made it clear they had a lot of catching up to do. And when traditional automakers started rolling out their own charging networks, he dismissed them as half-baked solutions that, honestly, paled in comparison to Tesla's supercharger ecosystem. But in recent months, Musk's tone has shifted. When asked about the future of charging, he admitted that charging speeds still aren't where they need to be. Even with Tesla's new V4 superchargers capable of 500 kilowatts, he acknowledged that the industry would need to push even further to truly compete with gas stations. And then there's China. Musk has always had a complicated relationship with Chinese automakers. On one hand, he's praised their ability to scale quickly and produce high-quality EVs at lower costs. On the other, he's warned about the very real possibility that Chinese automakers could outcompete Tesla if given the chance. In a recent earnings call, he even went so far as to say that if trade barriers weren't in place, Chinese automakers would demolish most other car companies. That's not something Musk says lightly. Tesla has been the gold standard in charging for over a decade. Their supercharger network is the only one that actually works at scale, and other automakers have had no choice but to adopt it. Even Ford, GM, and Rivian, Tesla's biggest American competitors, are integrating Tesla's NACS charging standard into their vehicles just to stay relevant.